Oh, yes. All right, we're gonna start the squaring process of the foundation, getting chalk line snapped. Hopefully, I did my job and got this laid out square enough that our forms concrete will fit all on this, which it should. So I got my point marked here at the corner where the corner of our form is gonna be. And I allowed for the 2.5 inches of insulation. We should be good. I got my layout laser set here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take my receiver, go down that and mark where I wanna be, zero it, then I will come back and it should cast a 90-degree line the other way. This has an auto align feature. Oh, and I forgot my tape measure, so I'll have to go back and get that. So I have to bear with me here. All right, let's turn this on. Should roughly be somewhere right in there once it's... So I turn it on, hit the auto align, hold it. It's gonna go through its sequence. And then the laser is gonna start moving until it finds So I'm doing right now. All right, so I hit auto align. I'm gonna mark this right here. Now I can go to the opposite corner and mark my straight line at the other end. Then once I get these two measurements done, I'll measure out the length of my wall, make a mark, bring the laser down here, and continue around the whole entire foundation. So this should go pretty quick, pretty easy. So let's go ahead and go down to the other side and do that. All right, so we're down here at the opposite corner. I'm gonna mark it. All right, now what I can do is I can measure from that point. This is, I think, 56. I'll have to look at the blueprints, but I think it's 56 feet. So I'll mark from that point, 56 feet, move that laser to here, and do the same thing down along this side. And we're just gonna keep doing that until we get all the way around, and then we'll snap chalk lines. This wall is 54. I'm 2 inches off the edge, so I got to mark at 54 2 inches. So I'm going to do that right now. Take our laser, kind of square it up at the edge, turn it on. We're gonna move this. I know it's hard to see, guys, but there's a little plumb dot that comes out here. We gotta move that to our corner. And this needs to be exact. I mean, once this is done leveling, self-leveling everything, that dot needs to be right in the middle of that X, because say you're off an 1/8 or a 1/4 here, you go 54 feet and you could be off 2 inches. So it's very, very important that that dot be right in the middle. So now, since we know that this, from this point to that other X is square with that other wall, we're gonna go back up, back down to that end, auto align, Then we know when we go down here that when I put this receiver up, it's going to be square to the first 2 walls that we've already done. $37.8, $37.6 plus our 2 back and 1/8, so it was 1 7/8 inches. If this matches up down there, I am one happy camper. Got it toned out here, so let's go down here. Oh, yes! Full circle. Now if the measurement lines up, we are golden. The measurement should be 24 6.5. All right, so we need to be 24 6.5 plus 4 back and 8. 24 6.5. 24 6.5 plus 4. 1 2 3 4. Subtract an 1/8. We are dead nuts. Alright guys, you can see we got all of our lines chalked. It's pretty consistently even, this gap here. This is the edge of the insulation. That way I can just line it up. Concrete wall will be in here somewhere, so it'll be right in the center of this footing. First corner in. See, this is working out really sweet. So all I got to do is set the edge of this right over that blue line. See, I measured, so my rebar would be in between these spacers. There's some clips that go on here that will hold this together nice and tight. I got to get my laser level out to make sure I can keep this bottom course nice and level. As long as this first course is nice and level, we're going to be good to go going forward. So when I set the grade for this footing, it was all within an 1/8 inch, so as long as we're that, we should be good. I'll use spray foam to seal up that bottom and kind of adhere it to this concrete. There are HV clips, double. I'm doing double on the bottom row, and then there will be a double on this next one. I'm just going to go along and hit this with some spray foam spots and go on to the next section. All right, we got this whole 54-foot row done. We went ahead and put some spray foam, you know, every 12, 15 inches, just so that'll adhere to the foam, adhere to the concrete, and kind of hold that bottom in place. This is nice and straight. I went ahead and did the whole backside because I won't be able to get to it once we build this up another layer. So I'm going to continue building the next wall, and then once I'm done building all these walls and get it all spray foamed, then I'll put the rebar in once that's cured. So I don't want to disturb it. It's already getting really solid. So let's keep going. Alright guys, now we got this last side all done. I'm just going to check it with the laser level, make sure we're within like a 1/8 inch, and then I'll finish foaming this side. And then the last thing I have to do on this side, or on this layer, is put rebar in, and then we can just go up. So next rows are going to go, I think, a little bit faster, just because I don't have to worry about making sure it's level. I'll still check it, but it's just going to lock right into this lower levels. All right guys, we have all the rebar in, and I'm doing, in the number 1 spot, we're doing rebar on both sides all the way up the wall. I just want this to have maximum strength. This is going to be backfilled on both sides, so technically I could alternate each side going up. It kind of depends a little bit on your application. If you're doing these for like a basement or crawl space, they're gonna, I think it's the bottom and top row, your rebar has to be on the inside of the wall, because that's where it's gonna need its most rigidity and strength. But I'm doing 2 rows on each course plus my verticals, so this should be more than strong. So now that I got all this ready, you can see this corner, the long side of the corner is this way. So the next row, the long side of the corner will go that way. So each corner you just reverse, and then all of your joints will be staggered going up the wall. Get it in there. And pound it in there. I'm gonna go around, get all my corners in the way they need to be just while I'm thinking about it. And then I'll come back and run all of the straight blocks. And then we will get, this row is going to get a tie right here. It's gonna get tied from here to here with those HV clips. Alright guys, so something you got to think about with these is utilities. So I measured out from the corner, there's going to be a garage right here. So this will be the garage wall, utility wall right here. And so I want the electrical box is going to be in this wall. So we got to be 3 feet down. So I marked that spot. That's where the electrical is going to go. And then I'm going to run 3 pipes, 4-inch PVC pipes for water lines and stuff like that. Alright guys, we've got our holes cut through. Now we'll get some PVC cut and make sleeves so that when I pour the concrete, it'll just pour around it, and then I'll have a hole that I can run my pipes through, electrical, all that good stuff. Some pipes for our utilities. This is a big enough pipe that a 3-inch Schedule 80 can slide through there for electrical. So that'll work for that. 2 coming in and maybe 1 going out. So we just want to make sure we have enough. I have caps on them right now, but those will get extended up into the utility room. If you wonder what I'm screwing to the studs inside the wall. So these ICF forms, Fox blocks in particular, has a 1.5-inch plastic stud every 8 inches. So everywhere you see it say in Fox blocks, there's a stud there, and that's what allows you to attach all your different materials to it. Off last night with the 3rd course all done, rebars in. We have some utility pipes put in so that we can run our utility through the wall without having to core. Down there will be for the septic line, and then we will have a garage drain going out the 3rd course here. But we have all the rest of the blocks setting up, corner blocks, straight blocks, and we have to customize these. And this is what it's going to look like. We'll put a slight bevel on the outside edge, and then on the inside we're going to notch this out 5 inches down and then in to here. And that's so when we build our wall is 8 inches. It will cover from the outside, and then the finished wall will be able to cover the edge of the concrete on the inside. And we'll still have our continuous thermal break. The spray foam will continue from here going up, but this will make for a real nice finish. It's a little extra work. They actually make blocks with a tab all across here, but I couldn't get those in time, so we're just going to customize these. That's the nice thing about these. Alright guys, here's the detail I got to do right here. This will straighten the wall perfectly. We're just going to build this all the way around. It's got a 2x6 on the bottom, 2x4 on the top. Alright, it is Sunday. We're pouring this wall tomorrow morning, so I came out to finish up the last couple details. So I'll just show you what we have here. We had to form this little angle up, so I cut down the top form. That way it drops the wall down to 6 inches, so our wall will cover the concrete. So our slab will come up to here, and then our inside wall will cover that, and we'll still get our thermal break. Out here, our spray foam will continue right on that all the way up the wall. I leveled up the wall, plumbed it with all these braces, made sure all my outside dimensions were accurate, and we got this all staked down and braced. And then after the pour, I'll double check everything, make sure nothing moved. We wouldn't think we'd have any troubles. This is pretty solid. It's nice and straight. It's 27 yards of concrete. We'll pour half of it, so we'll pour it up 2 courses, vibrate it, and then pour the second half, vibrate it, and then we'll be good. One little detail here by the garage, I cut down the garage door opening 5 inches, just so the slab inside the garage will come out over the wall. Got that framed up, double checked my dimensions, got all my pipes in, so we're good there. It's not the end of the world if we forget, because you can core a hole, but it's just a lot easier if you do it beforehand. Right back up. We got these walls poured, and it went pretty good. We did have a problem with one of the trucks. It had some frozen rock in it that slowed us up, but other than that, it turned out pretty good. This is going to be a post frame style home on this, so we don't have to put lags in because we're going to do dry set brackets everywhere. Forms held up great. We're going to have to pour, I think there's, I don't know how many footings are right here, but we have some column footings we have to put in right here for this back little porch. And then we have to do column footings across the front. And I have to have those all done before we start framing, because the trusses actually extend out to these column footings instead on posts. They sit on this wall and the posts, and then the front one we need to have done because the roof actually of the porch actually goes up and ties into the roof of the house. I'm gonna let this cure for a couple days, and then we'll be back, and I'll bring you to the next step once we get there. It's always a waiting game with materials and stuff like that, but we appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions on this ICF frost wall build, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. I will show you all the details of how we're building the wall, how we're finishing the outside edge, how we're finishing the inside edge as we go, and how we're retaining our thermal break from the bottom all the way up through to the top. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.